In my world, power isn't something you're born with. It's something the universe hands you when you turn 18. A cosmic link forms between you and a hero or villain from across the multiverse. And whatever they were, whatever they could do, becomes a part of you. Growing up, my best friend Oliver and I dreamed about that day. We imagined ourselves chosen by legends so we could fight side by side and protect the world together. When the moment finally came, I was linked to Connor Kent, half Superman, half Lex, my body filled with impossible light. Strength, speed, near invulnerability. Oliver, though, he was chosen by the Anti-Monitor, the destroyer of worlds. Still, in those early days, we believed we could turn our gifts into something good. We trained non-stop, mastering flight, strength, and energy control. His powers were darker, harder for him to hold back, but I stayed by his side, reminding him of who he was beneath that cosmic weight. Then, Haven City was struck by a massive earthquake. Millions were trapped. We didn't hesitate. We recede, stabilizing collapsing buildings, putting out fires, saving everyone we could. But then Oliver tried to contain an energy surge. I saw his eyes flicker red just before the ground cracked beneath him. His scream shook the heavens. Antimatter ripped out of him, and in a blinding flash, the entire city vanished. When the explosion cleared, I lay burned and broken beside a crater of ashes. Oliver trembled before me, crying, apologizing, begging to fix what couldn't be fixed. I forced myself to speak, telling him to stay back, telling him that he couldn't fix death. My words shattered him. He turned away and disappeared into the smoke. From that moment on, we walked separate paths. 12 years passed. The world became a fortress of fear. Heroes were fewer, trust was fragile, and people whispered about the Crimson Catastrophe. The day Haven City fell and about Oliver, now feared everywhere as the lost destroyer. I never stopped believing he was still in there somewhere. The same friend who once wanted nothing but to save people. I joined the Global Justice Alliance, fighting under the code name Nova Guardian. But no matter how strong I became, the guilt never left me. One night during patrol, my communicator buzzed. An antimatter surge near Haven City, stronger than anything we'd ever recorded. I broke the sound barrier, rushing to the ruins. And there, he was Oliver, cloaked in dark energy above the blackened crater. He told me the barrier between universes was breaking, that the Anti-Monitor's power was returning, stronger than ever, and that he was the source of it. Every breath he took fed the coming destruction. The sky tore open, rifts formed, and creatures made of pure antimatter spilled into the world. Oliver panicked, convinced he would doom the planet again. But I didn't hesitate. I reached for him, told him he wasn't alone anymore, that we would fight this together. He asked why I'd still trust him after everything. I told him the truth. I never stopped believing in him. His aura flickered from red to blue as he accepted my hand. And in that moment, two broken friends rose into the sky as one. The following weeks were a nightmare of cosmic war. Rifts opened across continents, swallowing cities in shadow. Oliver and I flew from one side of the world to the other, saving lives, closing portals, fighting beings born of antimatter and chaos. Slowly, people began to see what I had always seen, that Oliver was capable of being a hero. But the Anti-Monitor's influence still gnawed at him, worsening with every battle. Sometimes his eyes would flash red mid-fight, and he'd beg me to stay back before he hurt someone again. I refused every time. The final battle came over New Elysium, humanity's last standing capital. The Anti-Monitor manifested in full a colossal figure of infinite voidand, mocked Oliver, calling him a failed vessel. Oliver stood his ground, saying he wasn't anyone's puppet anymore. I charged first, slamming into the cosmic giant in a burst of white light. Oliver followed, using every ounce of his antimatter power to keep a massive rift from expanding above us. But his strength was fading. He warned me that if he lost control now, the entire planet would be destroyed. Primero insis, Tedwidi, find another way. But he'd already made his choice. As the rift widened, he strained against it, telling me I needed to seal it from the other side. I refused to leave him again. Not after everything. But he looked at me and reminded me of something ID once said. Heroes go and fix death, but they can save life. The pain in his eyes, said everything. And with that, he begged me to go. Holding back tears, I flew into the heart of the rift. I unleashed every last drop of my power to collapse it from within, and the explosion that followed burned brighter than 1,000 suns. When the light finally faded, the sky was clear. The anti-monitor was gone, but so was Oliver. Weeks passed as the world rebuilt, raising monuments to the fallen and honoring the sacrifice of the lost destroyer, not as the monster he was feared to be, but as the savior he chose to become. I returned to the newly rebuilt Haven City, standing at the edge where everything had once ended. The morning sun rose over the horizon, as reporters spoke on TV about how the world owed its survival to Novagardi and the mysterious savior who fought beside him. As I turned to leave, a faint pulse brushed the air, a tiny flicker of antimatter energy that I knew better than my own heartbeat. I smiled, because I knew exactly what that meant. And then, carried by the wind, I heard his voice come. Warm, familiar, Oliver whispered. Told you I'd always have your back. And in that moment, I understood one truth that no universe could erase. Even the greatest powers can never destroy the bond of friendship.